That opening riff snarls out of the speakers like a chainsaw with a grudge, doesn't it? Heart's Barracuda from 1977. It's the kind of track that still sinks its teeth into playlists everywhere, all these decades later. You crank it up and suddenly you're invincible, air guitaring through traffic or headbanging in the shower. But lurking beneath that monster groove is a story soaked in 70s record label slime, sisterly fury, and enough backstage drama to make a soap opera blush. We're talking about the kind of tale where the music biz reveals itself as a tank full of sharp-toothed predators, and two rockin' sisters decide to fight back with a song that bites harder than any lawsuit. Stick around, because this one's got secrets sharper than Nancy Wilson's strings. Let's rewind to the mid-70s, when Heart was clawing their way up from Seattle's foggy club scene. Ann and Nancy Wilson, those powerhouse siblings, had just dropped their debut album, Dreamboat Annie, on a little label called Mushroom Records. Picture this. The cover shows the sisters back to back, bare shoulders touching, all ethereal and mysterious. Innocent enough, right? Wrong. Mushroom's marketing geniuses slapped a tagline on ads in trade mags. It was only our first time. Subtle as a sledgehammer, implying some twisted, incestuous vibe between Ann and Nancy. As if rock and roll needed more reasons to be weird. The Wilsons were livid. They were negotiating better royalties, not auditioning for a tabloid scandal. Mushroom doubled down, refusing to let them out of their deal, and even rushing out an unfinished album called Magazine just to spite them. Heart said screw that, bolted to Portrait Records, and poured all that boiling rage into their next record, Little Queen. And Barracuda? That was the boiling point. It all ignited after a gig in Detroit. The band's riding high off the show, adrenaline pumping, when this oily radio promoter sidles up to Ann Wilson backstage. He's got that smarmy grin, the kind that screams, "I own the airwaves, babe." He leans in and asks, "So how's your lover?" Ann figures he's talking about her boyfriend at the time, guitarist Roger Fisher. Yeah, the same guy who inspired Magic Man. But no, this creep clarifies with a wink. "I mean your sister." Boom. Ann's blood turns to lava. She storms back to her hotel room, grabs a pen, and unleashes the lyrics in one furious scribble session. "You lying so low in the weeds, I bet you're gonna ambush me. You'd have me down, down, down on my knees. Now wouldn't you, Barracuda?" That's not poetry, that's a verbal harpoon. The Barracuda wasn't just a fish. It was every sleazy suit in the industry, from promoters to execs, circling like sharks smelling blood. Ann later called it a wake-up call to the tacky underbelly of showbiz, the kind her mum warned her about, full of misunderstandings and lowlifes who'd sell their grandma for a hit single. Nancy jumps in next, channeling her own pissed-off energy into the music. She's strumming away, and out comes that iconic riff, da-da-da-da-da, like a galloping warhorse on steroids. But here's a cheeky twist. It wasn't pulled from thin air. Heart had been opening for Nazareth in Europe, and those Scots had a killer cover of Joni Mitchell's This Flight Tonight with a similar chugging groove. Nancy admits they borrowed the vibe and cranked it up to 11. Nazareth caught wind later and were none too pleased. Picture a bunch of burly rockers grumbling, "You nicked our riff." But hey, imitation's the sincerest form of flattery, or so the saying goes. What if Nazareth had sued? We'd have had a courtroom battle royale, with Joni Mitchell as the surprise witness, testifying about her original tune. Instead, Heart owned it, adding their own flair, those odd time signatures that skip a beat here and there, 5/4, 7/4, whatever throws you off. Nancy called it cool little parts where it skips a beat, like the song's raging so hard it stumbles but keeps charging. Drummer Michael DeRosier and Roger Fisher fleshed it out, with Roger's galloping rhythm making it feel like a stampede. Producer Mike Flicker nailed the sound, turning raw anger into a polished thunderbolt. The whole thing came together in a blaze, conceptually born from record business bullshit, as Flicker put it. And that porpoise line, Sell me, sell you, the porpoise said. Anne later explained it's a pun on purpose, mocking how these industry predators have no real soul, just a slimy agenda. Or maybe it was a pet name for Nancy, Beatles style, walrus, porpoise, who knows. Either way, it's absurdly brilliant, like the song smirking at you while it shreds. Now the album saga. Pure chaos. Mushroom Sue's heart for Jumping Ship, Portrait Counter Sue's, and magazine hits shelves half-baked, tracks the band didn't even want out there. It's like your ex posting your unfinished love letters online for revenge. Heart fights back in court, wins the rights to their music, and Little Queen drops in May '77 with Barracuda as the lead single. Launch drama? Oh, plenty. The label wars dragged on, but the song exploded anyway. Radio stations ate it up. That riff was inescapable, like a virus you wanted to catch. It climbed to 11 on the Billboard Hot 100, hung around for 20 weeks, and went even higher elsewhere. A 2 in Canada, while 1 in South Africa. Critics raved, fans went wild. But the real drama? The Wilsons watching their payback anthem become a monster hit, proving you can turn slime into gold. Imagine if every bad boss inspired a chart topper. We'd all be rock stars by now. And spare a thought for that promoter. Wherever he is, every time Barracuda plays, it's like Anne's still flipping him off from the speakers. From there, Barracuda ascends to legend status, embedding itself in the rock canon like a tattoo you can't regret. It becomes Heart's signature snarl, played at every gig with Anne's vocals ripping through arenas like a stormfront. VH1 crowns it the 34th best hard rock song ever. High praise from the folks who know their headbangers. But it doesn't stop at concerts. It infiltrates pop culture like a stealthy fish in the sea. Video games? It's in Grand Theft Auto San Andreas where you're cruising Los Santos blasting fools to that riff. Talk about immersive. Guitar Hero 3 lets you shred it yourself, fingers bleeding by the end. Movies latch on too. Wag the dog, roll bounce, you again. But the real pattern? It soundtracks female badassery. In Charlie's Angels, the ladies kick ass to it. Birds of Prey has Harley Quinn swinging her bat in sync. Identity Thief, the campaign. Whenever a woman's about to unleash hell, cue the Barracuda. It's like the songs become the unofficial anthem for smashing glass ceilings with a guitar. TV jumps in. The Sopranos chuck My Name is Earl. Even Shrek the Third sneaks it in, because why not have an ogre groove to sisterly rage? And politics? Oh boy. In 2008, Sarah Palin, high school nickname Sarah Barracuda for her basketball ferocity, blasts it at the Republican National Convention. The Wilsons freak out. Stop using our song. They fire off a cease and desist, screaming irony. A tune about corporate sleaze hijacked by politicians. The campaign claims rights, but Anne and Nancy go public. Palin's views don't represent us as American women. Co-writer Roger Fisher chuckles from the sidelines, loving the royalties and using them to back Obama. Fast forward to 2011, Michelle Bachmann tries the same stunt. Hart shuts her down too. And just this year, Nancy calls out Trump for cranking it at some parade. Unauthorized again. What is it with politicos and this track? Maybe they hear Burn to the Wick and think it's about lighting up the bass. Absurd scenario. What if Palin covered it herself, swapping lyrics for policy jabs? Ooh, Barracuda, drill baby, drill. Nah, stick to the original. The enduring impact. Barracuda ripples out like waves from a splashy dive. It inspires covers galore. Fergie joins Hart for a killer duet on American Idol in 2008, belting it like she's avenging her own industry woes. Glee mashes it up in 2009, Leah Michele and Adam Lambert turning it into show tune fury. At Hart's 2013 Rock Hall induction, they blast it with guests like Jerry Cantrell and Mike McCready, old lineup reuniting despite bad blood, because nothing heals like a riff that slays. Quirky aftermath? The song's odd time skips make it a nightmare for karaoke warriors. Try singing it without tripping. You end up sounding like a floundering fish. And trivia nugget. Some swear it echoes Led Zeppelin's Achilles' Last Stand, with that epic bass and drum thunder. Heart worshipped Zepp, so maybe a nod. Ann's covered their stuff plenty. Or that Plymouth muscle car from the 70s called the Barracuda. Fans blast the song while revving engines, pretending it's about horsepower instead of horse crap. Cultural ripple. It flips the script on women in rock. Back then, sexism was the norm. Reviews fixating on Ann's weight, directors hiding her in videos while zooming on Nancy. Barracuda says, nah, we're the predators now. It's empowered generations from 70s club kids to modern riot girls. What if the Wilsons had let it slide? No song, no legend, just another forgotten slight. Instead, they turned Poison into platinum. So there you have it, the wild, wacky saga of Barracuda. A tune that started as a hotel room rant and became a cultural jaws of life. Heart's genius? Taking that raw, urgent fury and crafting something timeless with puns, power chords, and a porpoise with purpose. If this tale got your fins flapping, smash that like button, subscribe for more rock lore that bites, and drop a comment. What's your favorite Barracuda moment? Share this with a friend who's battled their own industry sharks. Until next time, keep swimming against the current. Ooh, Barracuda.